Planning and Zoning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome
said Thursday
all.
morning.
Happy New Year
I
to
haven't
everybody, to all of our regulars out there, Forrest and Jim and John. Happy New Year to you guys, and to everybody that's here tonight on this kind of a short business night, but kind of a festive occasion where we get to swear in some new council people and re-swear in some old ones. So I'm going to start by doing just that. I have to give an oath of office to our two new council people in order for them to be official, or as Councilman Schmidt pointed out, when they vote, it's not official.
Mayor,
So, yes.
should I do a roll call?
Let's do a roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Ms. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Schmidt?
Here.
Mr. Lind?
Here.
Mr. Morrissey?
Here.
Mr. Welper?
Here.
Mr. Hart?
Here.
Very good. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for keeping me straight, because I totally screwed that one up. Tom and Pat, why don't you come up here? Ladies and gentlemen, Councilman Welper and Councilman Jones and I have been re-elected to our positions, and we don't necessarily have to be officially sworn in. We can sign our oath of office and our affidavit and do that paperwork in the clerk's office, which we have already done. And our affidavits are on file in the clerk's office. Councilman Patrick Morrissey and Tom Lind have not been sworn in yet, so I'm going to do that duty tonight. And I'm going to do it individually, guys. So, Tom, since you're the first, why don't you face me and raise your right hand and just state after me, please. I, Tom Lind,
I, Tom Lind,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of council member
discharge all duties of the office of council member
in the city of Waterloo,
in the city of Waterloo,
Black Hawk County, Iowa,
Black Hawk County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, Councilman.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Patrick, you're next.
Yeah.
Okay, raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Patrick Morrissey,
I, Patrick Morrissey,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of council member
discharge all the duties of the office of council member
in the city of
in
Waterloo,
the city of Waterloo,
Black Hawk County, Iowa,
Black Hawk County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, Councilman. Okay, we are official. We have our council members, and we have an organizational meeting, an annual organization meeting that we do at the first council meeting of every year that just requires us to set several things that we will describe as we go through them. First of all, I'd like a motion, please, just to approve the agenda. Mr. Hart,
I move to approve the agenda as proposed.
Second.
all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Now, if somebody would please take 2 through 9.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Cole.
I move that we receive and file the oath of office documents of mayor and council members. I move that we approve your recommendation of appointment of Quentin Hart as mayor pro tem, and that we approve your appointment of Daniel J. Trelka as director of safety services, and your appointment of Pat Treelor as chief of fire services, and the council appointment of Jim Walsh as city attorney, and the council appointment of Susie Shares as city clerk, and the city clerk's appointment of Carol Nemmers as deputy city clerk, and your reappointment of all current city officers and directors.
Second.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions or comments regarding any of those appointments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Would somebody please do number 10 and read it in its entirety with all the committees?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Hart?
I move to receive and file Mayor Clark's appointments of the following council standing committees for 2014 through 2015. Finance, Chairperson Carolyn Cole, Vice Chair Steve Schmidt and David Jones. Building and Grounds Chair, David Jones. Vice Chair, Pat Morrissey and Steve Schmidt. Public Works Chairperson, Ron Welper. Vice Chairperson, Tom Lynn and Patrick Morrissey. Ordinances Chairperson, Mayor Pro Tem, and all council members. Human Resources Chairperson, Ron Welper. Vice Chairperson, Quentin Hart, and all council members. Public Safety Chairperson, Carolyn Cole. Vice Chairperson, Tom Lynn, with Ron Welper. Board and Commission Chairperson, Steve Schmidt. Vice Chairperson, Quentin Hart, along with David Jones. I move that all those are approved.
Second.
Very good. Council, do you have any comments or questions regarding any of those appointments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those motions carry. Would somebody please do number 11, please?
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hart?
I move to adopt a resolution naming Bank Iowa, Community National Bank, Farmers State Bank, First Security State Bank, Iowa Public Agency Investment Trust, NXT Bank, Midwest One Bank and Trust, Public Employees Credit Union, Regions Bank, U.S. Bank, Veridian Credit Union, and Wells Fargo, NA as depositories for the City of Waterloo, and resolution number 2012-1 be rescinded in its entirety.
Second.
Council, do you have any questions regarding item 11? All in favor, please say aye.
It's a roll call.
I'm sorry, that's a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind? Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Very good. That motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned from the organizational meeting. Thank you very much. start our regularly scheduled Waterloo City Council meeting this January 6th, 2014. Madam Clerk, would you start us with the roll, please?
Yes, Ms. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Schmidt?
Here.
Mr. Lind?
Here.
Mr. Morrissey?
Here.
Mr. Welper?
Here.
Mr. Hart?
Here.
Very good, thank you. Now, if you will all please join me in standing for just a moment of silent reflection or prayer, it would be much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our pledge tonight is going to be led by Mr. Abraham Funches, our Human Rights Director. Abraham, please.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Here.
Mr. Hart?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as proposed and also the minutes of December 16th and December 30th regular session via email as proposed.
Second.
Council, do you have any questions or comments regarding the agenda or the minutes? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Hart?
I move that we receive, place on file, and approve the consent agenda, items 1A through B3. Also, with the approval of the consent agenda, I move that we make our bills payment schedule, which will be read by our finance chair.
The bills this week are $774,573.74, 774,573.74.
Second.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions or comments regarding the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Lynn?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Huddleston is going to, she has a travel request where she's paying her own travel and meals. Is that unusual? Why does she have to pay her own?
I'll let Ms. Clerk, Ms. Clerk, would you answer that, please?
The budget wouldn't allow for this conference at the expense that it was at, so it was at her request that she go and cover the remaining expenses.
Is that a policy that we have written? Do we follow any kind of?
No, but we do have budget restraints, so the alternative would be to not attend the conference.
Sure, I understand,
So,
but
yeah.
I mean, I just want to make sure we're treating everybody fairly.
We do. You know, it is an option if somebody wants to go to a conference that they could certainly pay for it themselves.
Okay, part of it.
Yep, it has been done in the past.
Tom, it's not totally unusual for us to do that for people that want to provide themselves with more training or want to go to particular conferences within our budget restraint. If there's a deal struck where they pay for their transportation or they pay for their meals or they pay for one thing or another and we pay for some part or the other, then it just makes it work and it works for both parties. And it's not unusual that we do that.
Okay.
Good question, though. Good catch. Further questions regarding the consent agenda? I'm sorry, it's a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. On to public hearings, item number 2, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Schmidt?
item number 2 is approving a request of Tiana Smart for the sale and conveyance of 927 Lafayette Street at a cost of $122,000. I'd like to make that motion, receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing.
Second.
Council, do you have any questions regarding this item? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and the hearing is now open. Madam Clerk, are there any written objections on file to item number 2?
There were none.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak either for or against item number 2, Ms. Smart buying that particular piece of property? Second time?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
It's a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to adopt a resolution then authorizing said sale and conveyance and authorize the city attorney to prepare and deliver deed accordingly.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Very good, the motion carries. Item number 3, please, the one resolution.
Mr. Mayor,
Madam Cole?
I move we adopt a resolution approving naming the council chambers as the Harold E. Getty Council Chambers.
Second?
Council, do you have any questions or comments regarding that? If you haven't already, there's a beautiful plaque right here by the back door that kind of commemorates that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you very much, Madam Cole. Item number 4, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Hart?
move that we approve the request of Proactive Holdings 4 LLC for the vacation of .72 acres of East Ridgeway Avenue right-of-way adjacent to 2002 to 2018 East Ridgeway Avenue. Public hearing for the sale and conveyance was conducted on December 16th with no objections. However, there was an omission of the ordinance to vacate. Ordinance first reading was approved on December 30th.
Second.
Council, do you have any questions regarding this? It's kind of self-explanatory with the explanation in the motion, but do you have further questions? Madam Clerk, it's a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Very good, the motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move to receive, file, consider, and pass for the second time an ordinance vacating the .72 acres of East Ridgeway Avenue right-of-way adjacent to 2002 and 2018 East Ridgeway Avenue.
Second.
Very good, and that's a roll call vote also, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I move to consider and pass for the third time and adopt ordinance.
Second.
Stereo.
Yes.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Ms. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Lind?
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey?
Yes.
Mr. Welper?
Yes.
Very good, the motion carries. Item 5, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Cole?
I move we receive and file the abstract of votes for the November 5th, 2013 municipal election.
Second.
And that is a voice vote. First of all, do you have any questions, council? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our regularly scheduled business tonight. Pretty short meeting, intentionally for our first meeting of the year, but we will accept oral presentations. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the mayor or council regarding any matter of business, you may do so now. Just come to the microphone, give us your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Welcome,
Good job.
new members.